What up, Space Fam? Goes in here from Anime Uproar, and today we are going to be talking about the latest developments in the One Piece story. The serious Wano fights have finally begun, so make sure to stay tuned for that. If you enjoy these One Piece reviews and want to keep them coming, make sure to smash that like button and share this video. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, ring that notification bell or you will miss future One Piece reviews. For more One Piece videos, check out our One Piece playlist, link in the description. Feel free to suggest One Piece video ideas you would like to see in the comments below. Keep in mind there will be manga spoilers in this video. We are talking about the latest chapter, chapter 980 after all. Now without further ado, let's jump into it. This chapter is called Fighting Music, and I think we're all excited to see the real Wano fighting begin. During the last chapter, Luffy got soup spilled on him wastefully, and it was clear that he lost it. He thought back to Tama and how she usually had nothing to eat, and it understandably made him mad that these guys had so much that they could just throw it out and waste it. Remember that Tama drank poisoned water to ease her hunger, and this chapter starts out with one of the guys complaining that the very edible soup is not even worth eating. Another suggests the very wasteful idea of a food fight. Luffy's had just about enough at this point. He thinks back to how someone nice like Tama could barely get a bite to eat, and how in contrast these terrible dudes are surrounded by food, more food than they could ever eat. He blows up his arm, surrounds it with hockey, and bam! Hits the laughing, wasteful beast pirate right on the head. And wow, this moment is a bit reminiscent of when Luffy punched the Celestial Dragon. At both points he wasn't supposed to do anything, but Luffy couldn't handle the injustice and just landed the most satisfying hit you can imagine. I don't think this dude's head will ever be the same shape ever again. And so Luffy gives up his cover and the element of surprise. People notice that a fight is going on because of Luffy's over-the-top attack. Kid, not a very patient guy himself, is even surprised for a second to see how quickly and spectacularly Luffy blew his cover. Kid's men call Luffy an idiot because of how easily the disguises would have let them get right to the banquet hall, but Kid ends up being cool with it, probably planning to take advantage of Luffy's distraction. It's so funny because Luffy pretty much went chasing after Kid so Kid wouldn't blow their cover, and of course Luffy is the one to cause a scene first. That, my friends, is irony at its finest. Then, just as Kid is looking calm again, we see a building get cut in two, causing countless people to slide and fall. If the commotion that Luffy caused was bad, this one is much worse. And of course, we figure out that Zoro is the one who cut the building in half, and yet he's the one who calls out Luffy for causing trouble. Again, the irony is strong with this chapter. I just can't help but smile when I see Zoro, being the epic mad lad he is, standing there like a complete boss, asking why Luffy can't just keep his head down and slip into the banquet quietly. Kid's reaction is priceless. He knows that Zoro is even worse than Luffy, so he wonders if Zoro can actually hear himself and how ridiculous he sounds. We get another epic bromance moment here added to the collection, and I gotta admit, Luffy and Zoro are probably one of my favorite bromances in anime, so I can't help but appreciate it when we get moments where they get to shine together. In this case, Luffy explains that the Beast Pirates started it by throwing away a ton of soup. Most people would rationally be like, okay Luffy, who cares? That's got nothing to do with anything. But Zoro is on the complete same wavelength, and after hearing what Luffy says, agrees and says he's gonna have to cut those food wasters to pieces. And someone understandably wonders why these guys seem to care so much about soup. As the two talk in front of everyone about how no one knows about them yet, people clearly start to figure out that something is wrong and that they aren't actually with the Beast Pirates. Fellow Worst Generation Pirate Scratchman Apu is the one who figures out that it must be Straw Hat Luffy first. Apu is surprised because he, like most people, thought Luffy was in prison. Just as the really slow Beast Pirates start to figure out that Luffy and Zoro are suspicious, the two start running. You gotta love Luffy's big fat smile here. He's in the middle of enemy territory dealing with two Yonko and their crews, and he's having the time of his life. Apu contacts Queen, who responds in rapper fashion, which I can't help but appreciate. Apu lets Queen know that there are some escapees from Udon, the All-Star's own turf. Then the musical language continues as Apu tells him to check out the mosh pit where Zoro and Luffy are kicking some Beast Pirate butt. Apu reveals that they are indeed the Worst Generation's very own Straw Hat Luffy and Pirate Hunter Zoro. Kid spots Apu, so we got 4 Worst Generation pirates here in close quarters, which is pretty exciting, especially because because one is working with the enemy. Remember that Kid was screwed over by Apu. Apu betrayed him and handed him over to Kaido. In fact, you could say that everything that Kaido's done to Kid and his crew members can be traced back to Apu's actions. So you know that the hot-headed Kid is thinking about payback. The spotlight goes to Queen, who reveals that he's going to be personally taking down a Flying 6 member, and thus he'll be opening up a position. He motivates everyone present by dangling this possible promotion in front of them. Last chapter, the idea of the All-Stars fighting the Flying 6 was brought up, which was exciting, and here Queen is also fueling that flame. So many epic fights to look forward to, and it's so funny seeing these drunk guys who are nowhere near Flying 6 level saying they're gonna join. But hey, a man can dream. Especially a drunk man. I also love the non-gifter guy who says that non-gifters don't stand a chance, but hey, that means they can drink. You can tell that this guy's always fun at a party. Zoro notices that most of these guys are smile users, so most of them have animal powers. That means dealing with them is less a walk in the park than a walk in the zoo. As Zoro and Luffy agree to make their way through the smile users with their different animal powers, Apu starts playing his piano teeth and his other instrumental body parts. He mentions fighting music, the title of the chapter. Clearly Apu is a central focus in this one. And Apu actually lands a solid hit on Luffy using his music powers. We saw some glimpses of his musical powers before, and they pretty much let him use music to hurt people through slicing, explosions, and the like. Luffy is confused about how Apu hit him, and Zoro remembers that he was allied with Kid's crew, and he thinks the musical pirate still is. Apu gives Zoro a slash on the chest, catching him off guard as well. The worst generation musician was no match for Admiral Kizaru before the time skip, which is completely understandable because Kizaru is a super fast and strong beast. But Apu was clearly always strong, since he became a member of the worst generation and his bounty is 350 million berries. We can also assume that he got stronger during the time skip just like all of our Straw Hats did. It also doesn't help that Luffy and Zoro have no idea what's going on. Zoro is looking for the blade Apu used, but can't see it of course since the fighting musician is just attacking with sound. Apu causes an explosion right where Luffy is, and he hits him pretty hard. Zoro looks very worried, and Luffy looks like he's been, at least temporarily, KO'd. White blank eyes and everything. Queen complains because he actually wants the Straw Hats to put up a better fight. I don't think anyone expected this to happen during the first meaningful fight. Zoro picks up Luffy and decides that they need to run away. As Zoro says, they can't be taking damage this early. An All-Star hasn't even entered the fight, let alone a Yonko. They gotta conserve their energy and stamina if they want to stand a chance against Kaido. Zoro also points out that this is an Emperor's crew, which means that it isn't just huge, it also has a lot of heavy hitters, aka talented and strong fighters. Luffy gets back to his senses and hilariously bites down on an alligator's mouth. Obviously, we weren't expecting him to be taken out by someone like Apu, so it's good to see him looking fine after that explosive attack. Luffy is convinced that now they gotta force their way through because the Beast Pirates now know it's them. They definitely took more damage than they wanted to take at this point and aren't even moving as normal, but there can be no retreat now. You might recall how the samurai epically destroyed their boats in order to show how retreating was not an option, so they gotta do what Luffy is best at, which is just ramming straight into the enemy. Just as Apu says that Luffy and Zoro are still in his range and threatens them with another attack, we see metallic weapons begin to float. Looks like Kid has also had enough of staying undercover. He's mad at Apu for betraying him and he's gonna get his revenge. With his giant metallic arm, he squashes Apu. We're told that the backstabber got his just desserts, and oh man was it sweet. This chapter did seem shorter than usual, but maybe that was me just flying through it because of how exciting it was. It's great to see the action get underway. The Beast Pirates now know that at least 3 members of the worst generation are attacking them. We see how much of a threat the Beast Pirates are since Luffy and Zoro couldn't even breeze through Scratchman Apu, and they still gotta face the Flying 6, the All-Stars, and 2 Yonko, not to mention the strong members that show up from Big Mom's crew. Right away we're shown that even the earlier battles aren't gonna be super easy ones. Nevertheless, we got to see Kid destroy Apu by catching him off guard, and that was amazing. He got his revenge against the guy who caused his Kaido misfortunes to begin. He was epic as we'd expect from Kid, and this might mean that since he got such sweet revenge against Apu, the story might leave Kaido for someone else. But right now it's definitely not looking great for Luffy and Zoro, although of course they were trying to conserve energy and weren't really trying yet. We're definitely gonna need some Yonko help here, that's my opinion at least, unless Luffy unlocks Gear 5 Ultra Instinct. As always, let me know what you thought of this chapter in the comments, and what do you think is gonna happen next. I always love seeing the dynamic between Luffy and Zoro, that was hilarious, and now we should be getting serious fight after serious fight, in addition to learning more about Kaido's son Yamato. Can't wait for that, but we will have to wait an extra week since the manga will be on break next week. If you enjoyed this One Piece review and want to keep them coming, be sure to smash that like button like Luffy smashed that food waster. If you haven't, be sure to subscribe, and this is crucial, ring that notification bell or you will miss future One Piece reviews. For more One Piece videos, check out our One Piece playlist, link in the description, and feel free to suggest One Piece videos you would like to see in the comments below. Lastly, the YouTube ad rates have significantly dropped recently, so the help and support we're getting from our Anime Uproar patrons is now more important than ever. A very special thank you goes to our patrons over on Patreon who help us survive these YouTube issues and who help make videos like this one possible. First and foremost, I want to thank the legend acknowledged by Lord Twigo himself, Efren A, and the 1-tier patrons, the ones who stand atop all clans: Steven Ingrata, Alola Natem, The World, Steelers, Tyson Corino, Acquire Respect, Pate Heffa, Jonathan King, Desi D, Brandon Aviles, Papa Smurf, Emperor Otaku, and Richie Martinez. And our Pro Hero tier patrons, the one and only Gilgamesh, Nothing But a Fan, Jason Wilson, King Zeldris, Anatoly Kazatsky, Angel Cruz, Ice Parky 65, Cricket XP, Ted No Ted, Joe Stanton, Very Gucci, Alicia Actor, Animal 69, Jessica Kayla Fawn, Hinokami and Water, Bonnie Parks, Zodiar 12, Rathuan Deora, Tien Huang, Mitch Loves Anime, Cynical, Kraken, and JCC Waka. Thank you all so much. If you enjoy our work, you can support more of it by going over to patreon.com/animeuproar and becoming a patron today for as little as $1. If you do so, you'll get your name featured in future videos alongside these amazing people right here, and you'll even get access to our private patron-only Discord, where we talk about anime life and, of course, dank memes. So check out patreon.com/animeuproar, link in the description if you're interested. You can also now join the YouTube channel and support more content that way if you prefer. Whichever way you choose to support us, you can get the same great benefits. Thanks again, and until next time, see you, Space Cowboys.